back to the show. Now, moving ahead, in this one interesting story that we came across, the unprecedented incident in the judiciary. Shankar, a former DVSE employee, was convicted in a fast-track court today for sitting cross-legged in the court. Now, he was asked to pay a fine of 200 rupees or be imprisoned for 15 days. And this after being noticed yesterday for sitting cross-legged. Now, his lawyers now says that this is against the Supreme Court orders. Shankar was to be heard in a phone tapping controversy. Now, of course, this is one interesting question that is being raised about, again, the legitimacy of the judgment that was passed today. And actually, to talk more about that, we are joined by Mr. R. Radhakrishnan. He's joining us from our Hindu studios. He's, of course, the counsel for Mr. Shankar. And in our studios, we're joined by Mr. Anand Venkatesh. He'll be a lawyer by profession. He'll be giving us more legal insights again about while discussing this question. I'll put the first question across to Mr. Radhakrishnan, if you can hear me, sir. Again, what is your contention here? You have juxtaposed this against some developments from the Supreme Court that this is not valid. The judgment that was made today was not valid, especially in light of the fact that Mr. Shankar was not allowed to speak up, was not allowed to give his version of the story. So is that the main argument that you have put across to us?
No, the issue is, suppose a person sits in a court hall, cross-legged or leg over the other. Can it be considered to be a contempt of court? That's the issue. So Mr. Shankar was found sitting like that in his way. But the court felt insulted why he should sit like that. Then immediately court asked him, you don't sit like this. This is an insult to the court. Then he replied, it appears, he replied to the court, so I don't mean any disrespect to the court. This is my usual way of sitting. Then immediately the judge concerned issued a show cause notice under section 345 Criminal Procedure Code. This is contempt of court and you should be punished. You give your explanation immediately. Then after receipt of the notice, today he went to the court and gave his explanation in the form of a reply, asking her, what sort of offense I have committed, you are not mentioned in the show cause notice. Kindly mention that offense, then I would reply. After getting the reply, she immediately convicted him, pay fine of rupees 200, failing which you should undergo simple imprisonment for 15
Mr. Radhakrishnan,
days.
if I can interrupt you there at this point, Mr. Radhakrishnan.
According to the court.
Right, Mr. Radhakrishnan, if I can interrupt you there for a moment.
Yes.
Again, the primary contention at this point was that Mr. Shankar was not allowed to give his version of the story. And of course, the premise being that of course, whether or not sitting with crossed legs can be seen as a contempt of court. But let me get some more perspective on that with the help of our guest who's joining us here. So firstly, welcome to the show. Let me put this question across to you then. Sitting with crossed legs, again, the judge seemed to have a different opinion about what it actually signifies. To her, it seemed more of contempt. Does it really qualify as a contempt of court?
See, the misbehavior in a subordinate court can be dealt with by that court under section 228 of the Indian Penal Code, read with section 345 of the Criminal Procedure Code. So where a court feels that there is misbehavior by a person in the court hall premises, then he can be dealt with. But then it also contemplates a proper notice to be issued to the person concerned, because this is not like.
So before we actually come down to the procedural details, if we can just discuss whether sitting with crossed legs actually qualifies as contempt of court in the first place.
I think that the judge has become a bit hypersensitive about this, because in many of the courts I have seen people sitting cross-legged, and I have seen High Court judges allowing some advocates to sit and argue. So therefore, I don't think per se this will.
I'll take that away from the word that you used there, hypersensitive. Mr. Radhakrishnan, if I can get your take on that. Now, of course, can I just have a quick word from you with regard to how you see this, whether you see this as contempt in the first place? We'll talk about the procedural details in just a while. Do you again see this as contempt before we talk about whether or not a notice period was allowed?
No. Contempt can be issued only when there is intentional insult or interruption in the judicial proceedings, right? Every public power should be exercised in public interest. A judge is given the power to exercise in public interest. So there cannot be any contempt. Of course, she is sensitive. So we can't help. The judge is not expected to be sensitive about the court's dignity. Then the court will not be in a position to function properly in the interest of the people.
Right. So, Mr. Radhakrishnan, just stay with us. Just a final word now. Again, having established that, again, it a little hypersensitive there, but nevertheless to talk about the procedural details, again, areas that were overlooked and actually before convicting Mr. Shankar there, areas that were really important areas that were overlooked.
See, a misbehavior in a court is specifically dealt with under the provisions of IPC and Criminal Procedure Code. So, therefore, unless and otherwise the court is satisfied that there is a misbehavior which has brought down the dignity of the court, which has brought down which undermines the stature of the court, a court cannot per se by an act of having a leg across another for things like this can exercise its contempt power.
Right.
So, I think that the court has gone a bit become hypersensitive about the whole issue, and an opportunity, when we talk about the opportunity, he has attempted to make his submission, his justification as to why he did it, and he has made it clear according to Mr. Radhakrishnan that he did not mean any disrespect to the court. If in spite of it if the court is going to go and impose a fine, then I don't think it has exercised its jurisdiction properly.
Right. So again, some important words coming out there, not exercising its jurisdiction properly. Mr. Radhakrishnan, thank you so much for joining us and giving us Mr. Shankar's perspective, and of course, Mr. Venkatraman, thank you for joining us and giving us your take on the developments here. That was again one interesting question that was raised tonight post the verdict of the fast track court. But there's a lot more news and developments and updates that await you on the other side. We'll bring you that in just a little while.